Perth, Wellington, New Zealand, I'm Carol Hirschfeld.
I'm Andrew Mulligan, and joining us along this massive red carpet are thousands of fans who have been here since last night. They've come from Wellington, they've come from all around the country, they've come from all around the world just to catch a glimpse of their favourite Hobbit, dwarves, elves, and of course, wizards.
Also joining us are millions of Tolkien fans online watching our live coverage as we beam to the world here from Wellington, New Zealand. For the next 3 hours we will be meeting cast and crew from incredible film, and of course we'll be seeing our very own Sir Peter Jackson.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic evening. Late afternoon. Now, this is how it's going to work. 4 o'clock, we'll hear from Neil Finn, a special half-hour performance. At 4:30, the stars will start to arrive and walk this massive red carpet. At 5:30, there will be a special flyover by the Air New Zealand Boeing 777 dressed up for the Hobbit. And then at 5:30, we'll hear from more of the stars. And then, of course, 6:30, we'll hear for their special speeches.
But right now is the perfect opportunity for us to remind ourselves exactly why we're here for this incredible film, The Hobbit, an unexpected journey.
Far to the east, over ranges and rivers, lies a single solitary peak. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
I like visitors as much as the next. But I do like to know them before they come visiting.
Mr. Baggins? At your service.
I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Oh, they're quite a merry gathering.
So, this is the Hobbit.
You asked me to find the 14th member of this company, and I have chosen Mr. Baggins.
Me? No.
Hobbits can pass unseen by most if they choose, which gives us a distinct advantage.
We will seize this chance to take back Erebor!
Here, Mr. Bilbo, where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
Mithrandir, why the halfling?
Why Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. It gives me courage.
So this is your purpose, to enter the mountain?
What of it?
There are some who would not deem it wise.
A dark power has found a way back into the world.
Why don't we have a game of riddles?
And if it loses, what then? Well, if it loses, precious, then we eat it. If Baggins loses, we eat it whole.
Fair enough. I will take each and every one of these dwarves over the mightiest army. Loyalty, honor, a willing heart. I can ask no more than that.
Home is now behind you. The world is ahead.
Well, that could have been worse.
Wow. All of Wellington has really turned out for this amazing film, which has groundbreaking technology in it with 48 frames per second. That's twice the normal rate, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, we had a very privileged opportunity to see the film on Monday. It is truly amazing. And you can see by the response of Wellington and the fans that have come out today, all types, all shapes and sizes have joined in the festivities. Just look at the people loving the fact that The Hobbit is having its world premiere here in Wellington, New Zealand.
Andrew, you must be incredibly proud because this is your own old hometown.
Yes, it is in Wellington. I'm pretty sure this is what Wellington is like on a normal day. It never has any wind, it never has any rain. It is like this every single day of the year. I just want to tell the world that, Carol.
Well, I think we are very close to our very, very special entertainment. And we're counting 4, 3, 2, 1.
myself before I go to sleep. And there's a light shining in the dark, leading me on towards a change of heart. It's truly wonderful to be here with you all. You're looking pretty bloody fantastic down here on the main drag of Wellington. All set? I got you. That's all I want. I won't forget. That's a whole lot. I don't go out. Not now that you're in. Sometimes we shout, but that's no problem. Well, I don't know why sometimes I get frightened. You can see my eyes and tell that I'm not lying. Look at you, you're a pageant. You're everything that I've imagined. Thank you very much. This is Victoria. That's Liam. That's Elroy. I'm Neil. That's Jimmy. That's Conan. And that's Will. There's more to come. What's your name? Bashful. Bashful. I love you too. It's a very haunting image, you stuck between two angels of death down there. Tell me all the things you change. I don't pretend to know mind. There's no one to blame. It's easy to forget what you've learned, waiting for the thrill to return, feeling your desire burn when you're drawn to the flame. And your seven worlds collide whenever I'm by your side. Just from a distant sun will shower over everyone. Just from a distant sun will shower over everyone. And I'm lying on the table, washed out in a flood, tied to Christian fear and vengeance from above. I don't pretend to know what you want, but I ought to lie. Seven worlds will collide whenever I'm by your side. Just from a distant side will shower over everyone. Yeah. Let your mind go. Let your mind go anywhere it wants. Let your mind go everywhere it wants. And I fell asleep, and the dust laid on the ground. Seven worlds will collide whenever I'm by your side. And dust from a distant sun will shower over everyone. Seven worlds will collide whenever I'm by your side. Dust from a distant sun will shower over everyone. Dust from a distant sun will shower over everyone. Welcome, sons of Wellington, Tom, Sam, Luke. This is the song that got me the job. Just testing. You're onto it. Somewhere deep inside, something's got a hold on me. It's pushing me aside. See it stretch on forever. I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you we were to end it, but I could start again. You can depend on it. I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you better be home soon. Oh, that's why I tell you, you'd better be home soon. Thank you. How's everyone? Are you good? Are you very good?
Is one really
Oh, yeah,
good
excellent.
yet?
This, you're totally excellent. Look at you. Look at that.
You're feeling good.
Yeah. You've lost your ears, Conan. Did they fall off in the stiff Wellington breeze?
Yeah. Too much wind here.
All right. This is for Peter, Fran, and Philippa. Thank you. Far over the misty mountains rise, leave us standing upon the heights. What was before we'll see once more, is our kingdom a distant light. Fiery mountain beneath the moon, words unspoken will be there soon. For home a song that echoes on, all who'll find us will know the truth. as long as we get our long forgotten gold. What's the time? I think we're handing over the stage pretty soon to the man himself. But in order to set the scene, how about we do a little reprise of that one? Because it's pretty easy, there's no real words to it. Do you want to sing it with us? Come on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's good. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's hear them now, just then. Yeah, 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 yeah. We're gonna leave you doing it. That's good. Peter can hear you. That's good. He's on his way. I can hear the Air New Zealand jet touching down. Helicopters warming up. Come on. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here at the world premiere of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. Can we get a round of applause for Neil Finn and that beautiful song for the Lonely Mountain? What a beautiful song it is, and thank you so much to the thousands of fans who have joined the red carpet here on Courtenay Place. Carol and I have just done a quick head count of about half an hour, and we reckon close to 100,000 people have lined the streets today, this 500-metre beast of a red carpet, to make sure that everybody sees their favourite dwarf, hobbit, elves and wizards. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just minutes away from seeing all your favourite actors come up this red carpet, and if you are part of the millions watching online, join the conversation on Twitter, hashtag The Hobbit. It is truly a special event, as you can see from the aerial shots of Wellington. They have turned it on here in cinematic Middle Earth. Let's have a look at the reminder of why we are here today in Wellington. Actually, let's have a look at Carol. Carol, you have a very special guest with you right now.
The man of the moment, Peter Jackson. And Peter Jackson is with his adoring crowd here and will be joining us very shortly. Fantastic. Fantastic. And hello, thrillingly, ladies and gentlemen, we have the man of the moment. He is the director of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. Peter Jackson, can I begin by saying congratulations? This is an exhilarating film. What excites you most about what it offers audiences?
Well, I love escapism. I love going to the movies and just, you know, being transported away, and those are the movies that we try to make.
How do you feel when you see that all of Wellington has turned out for this fantastic premiere?
It's absolutely fantastic. It's just so great of all these people to stay here for so long to welcome us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, you face so many challenges bringing The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey to the screen. What was the single biggest?
Well, I think the biggest challenge is always just actually making the movie. We had a lot of drama at the beginning, but once you're on set, you have a big job to do. You know, we were shooting for 18 months, huge logistics all around New Zealand. But fortunately, we had an incredible crew, great support behind us. But yeah, shooting the movie is always the hardest part.
Was it strange going back to Hobbiton, or did you always know that you'd be back there?
No, I didn't always know, and the great thing about Hobbiton is that after Lord of the Rings we had to remove it. We returned this farmland back to the way it was with sheep grazing on it, and then for the Hobbit it gave us an opportunity to rebuild it, and it can stay there now as a permanent part of the of our Middle-earth experience. So I'm very proud of that.
Interestingly, Peter, you actually have shot in reverse order to Tolkien, with Lord of the Rings coming first and The Hobbit second. Was that ever daunting?
Well, it was interesting because when Fran Walsh and I first came up with this idea back in about 1995, we tried to make The Hobbit first. We thought make The Hobbit as one movie, and if that was successful, then maybe we could do 2 Lord of the Rings movies. That was our master plan. And at that point, the rights to The Hobbit were almost impossible to get, and they were too difficult. But The Lord of the Rings was achievable, so we went to The Lord of the Rings first. But you know, it's interesting. I'm glad we did it this way, because The Lord of the Rings really it gave us a chance to establish the style and the look of the films and the look of Middle-earth and the design, and we're able to now use that on The Hobbit. I'm glad we did it that way around, actually. I think it's it'll end up for the best.
Talking about the look of the film, the groundbreaking technology with 48 frames per second, it is extraordinary to witness. How do you feel about how it's turned out?
Well, that's really up to audiences to decide. It's a very interesting way to look at a movie. I like to think of it as almost the same as that period where vinyl records were replaced by CDs, where an old technology of many decades old was replaced by something that's crystal clear. It's very immersive. And I just think it sort of lifts the experience of seeing a film, and I think that's part of my job to try and do that.
Now, we know that you have been working right up until the last minute, polishing this fantastic film. Tell me, how did you know when you had reached the end, and how did you feel?
Well, you kind of you figure out, you just keep glancing at the calendar and remind yourself when the premiere is supposed to be, when we're supposed to be screening it here, and you work backwards from that. I mean, I think we've got the film just about finished. I mean, I may have to get John Key to extend his speech a little so we have time to get it to the theatre, but I think we'll be all right.
You're an absolute perfectionist. Tell me that you are going to rest a little bit now.
Well, I've got to promote this movie, and then we'll have a little bit of break over Christmas, and then we've got 2 more Hobbit films to finish.
Wonderful. And I can see you have a very beautiful young partner here tonight. Shall we wander over to her? Katie. Hi.
This is my daughter.
I'd like to introduce you to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Katie Jackson, Peter Jackson's daughter. Can we have a huge cheer for her being here with her dad? It is wonderful to have you with your dad here. Katie, you would have seen the film. What did you think?
I actually haven't seen it. He wanted to wait till it was completely done and finished for me to really get the full movie. So yeah, I'm so excited.
I thought it would be much more fun for Katie to see it completely finished and rather than see it sort of unfinished. So I convinced her to wait.
I think more than probably anybody in the world, you probably lived with these Tolkien tales in your life as you grew up. How has that been, Katie?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's incredible. I mean, I'm a big Tolkien fan myself, so it's great to have like a whole family that's just kind of Tolkien obsessed.
I mean, all of the actors, you know, Ian McKellen and Elijah, they've become part of our family, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, ever since you were very, very small.
When I was like 3.
And tell me, do you have any aspirations of going into the movie business yourself?
You never know. You never know. Yeah. I might carry it on.
What do you think, Dad?
Well, it would be good. It would be fantastic, and she's extremely clever, so fantastic.
Peter and Katie, we are going to let you get to your adoring crowd. Please have a wonderful premiere night. Thank you. Peter Jackson and Katie Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. checking, and I think actually we're on now, and so I'm going to talk with you, you wonderful woman, creator of this fantastic set of films, along with Peter and Fran, of course. How are you feeling about actually reaching this day, Philippa?
I think I'm relieved. I think I have to say, you know, you try really hard and you're focused so intently on what you're doing, and this is just like the icing on the cake, especially when you see all these incredible fans come out for the film. It's you know, it's heartwarming.
It's everything you work for, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, so many people put so much into this, and it's been a great joy. It's been a fantastic shoot. The cast is amazing. I think Pete knocked this one out of the park. I'm very happy with what we did with the script and stuff. So yeah, I feel good, I have to say. I just hope people love it as much as we love making it.
I talked to Pete about what he found the single biggest challenge. What for you was the biggest challenge you faced bringing this film to screen?
It's interesting. Just getting it there was fairly hard, I have to say. I think, you know, in terms of the writing, we just keep writing. We continually write, and so the whole thing was a challenge, but keeping the tone right, keeping it distinct and separate from the Lord of the Rings, making it its own entity, you know, all of those things. But getting 13 dwarves in one scene is pretty hard, I have to say.
But you managed it.
We did it.
Well, you had a particularly great crew with these dwarves.
Yes, we did. They're a lot of fun. They worked really well together. They're good ensemble. All really, really phenomenal actors in there. So, yeah, that wasn't hard, I have to say. They were a joy to work with. And some of them, you know, I think are going to surprise some people.
Now, we're actually premiering this movie, but you must be looking ahead to the next two.
Yes, we are, actually. Pete's done a cut of the second one, and Fran and I are supposed to be watching it, and but we had to go shopping, I have to say.
And you need to meet your adoring crowd too, Philippa. Please have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much.
And happy premiere.
Yeah.
We're just making our way through the front of the red carpet. Just tap Martin Freeman on the shoulder and we can have a bit of a chat with him. He's, of course, the star, Bilbo Baggins, and we just... Hello, how are you? Are you enjoying today so far?
Yeah, so far it's lovely.
Yeah? And Wellington's turned it on, obviously, today. What a fantastic journey, an unexpected journey for you, sort of. How are you feeling after you've seen the film? Have you seen the film at all in its final cut?
Saw it 2 or 3 nights ago, yeah, and it's beautiful, yeah. I'm really, really pleased with it. I'm pleased for Peter, I'm pleased for all of us, yeah. It was a lot of work, a lot of hard slog and time and love, and it's a beautiful film, yeah.
The first scene that you shot was with Gollum in his cave. What was that like?
It's fantastic, working with a brilliant actor on one of the most sort of pivotal scenes of the book and of the film. It was glorious for me because it helped me find who Bilbo was, you know. And Andy always brings out the best in you, you know. He's great.
It's always nice to be wanted, but they wanted you from day one. They moved their schedule for you.
Well, it's very flattering. It's very flattering, and I still can't quite believe it. But I'm very glad they did.
And what are you expecting as you go further up the red carpet?
A lot more people, by the looks of it. A lot more people and a lot more enthusiasm for this film, which is great because the whole city's behind it. It's fantastic.
I hope you have a Camelback. It's very dehydrating as you walk up there.
It seems it, yeah, yeah.
All right, enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Carol.
Far to the east lies a solitary claim their homeland.
I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Quite a merry gathering.
So, this is the Hobbit.
You asked me to find the 14th member of this company, and I have chosen Mr. Baggins.
Me? No.
We will seize this chance to take back Erebor.
Where are you off to? I'm going on an adventure!
Why the halfling?
Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. It gives me courage.
Why don't we have a game of riddles?
If Baggins loses, who eats it whole?
Fair enough.
Home is now behind you. The world is ahead.
The Hobbit, an unexpected journey.
Well, that could have been worse.
Only in cinemas.
I think we just need to do another We're Here on the left, you know? Cool.
No, I'm not even. I'm pretty much never looking at it, but...
Yeah, here we are, just quickly replaying with our beautiful camera person, Bex. And here we are with James Nesbitt, Beaufort as well, in the Lord of the Ring, the Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. What an amazing day we're about to have. Are you excited?
Well, beyond excited. I mean, it's just so good to be back here. I was saying that this morning in the press conference that this wasn't just another job. This was a whole lifestyle change. You know, I brought my daughters here. It changed their lives. Working with Peter changed my life. This is a great place to make a movie. It's a great place to live, and to be back for this is sensational.
You obviously look like you had a great amount of fun with the other dwarves as well. Was it like being in a team? Was it a team feeling?
Well, what's interesting in the film and in the book, of course, the dwarves go on this journey, but we as actors were doing the same thing. We had to meet and get to know each other, go on this journey. There were challenges ahead. There were the odd fights and quarrels, but we've come through, and of course we've got 2 more films to get through. But I just can't say enough about Wellington and about New Zealand. It was, you know, I come from a place I'm very proud to come from, Ireland, in the north of Ireland. But New Zealand has everything, but most of all it has a gentle pace of life, a good education system, and good wine.
It certainly does. Now tell me, what was it like, Dwarf Boot Camp? How was that at the beginning?
Well, it was easier for the shorter guys because, you know, they weren't faced with the challenge. No, it was bizarre. You know, some of it I'm not sure that we used that much of, but we got fit. And also, I was here for the World Cup, and I watched you lot during the World Cup. You know, I mean, how incredible was that? The boot camp was fine. It's a challenging and different situation to be involved in, you know, because you're not quite sure what's going on a lot of the time, but somehow Peter and Fran control this enormous thing at the far end of the world, but they do it with grace and with generosity. You know, it's amazing.
It really comes across in not only the movie, but also the video blogs as well that you can watch online. It looks like you guys had a lot of fun with a lot of hard work.
I tell you what, it beat working for a living. It was good.
All right, thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Carol.
Well, I am with the wonderful Thorin, that is, a.k.a. Richard Armitage. And Richard, welcome to the premiere of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. Has it been an unexpected journey for you?
Yeah, it really has. I mean, the whole experience of shooting the film was enough for me. Without an end product, seeing the film on Sunday was a bonus, and then coming to Wellington and sharing this with everybody is beyond belief.
Now, you are one of the centerpieces of this film. You are a heroic figure, and you are constantly seen in this beautiful, golden, heroic way. How did you feel about that?
It wasn't part of the preparation that I did for the character. It was just something that Tolkien had given to the reader, and it was a big shoes to fill. So I just practiced my sword fighting and worked hard to fill those big shoes. Yeah.
You are seen as an action actor, and there was a lot of physical work with this role. How did you prepare?
We did 6 weeks of a boot camp. We did sword fighting. We learned how to move as dwarves. I learned how to sing as a dwarf. So there was quite a lot of preparation.
Tell me about the experience of coming off the film. How was that? Was it very strange after being in this very tight group with these people that you've grown to love?
Yeah, when the plane took off from Wellington for the final time, I was really choked to leave because this place had become my home. But coming back here for this has been incredible. But shaking off the character as well is something which takes a long time. And I think Thorin will live inside of me for a while. I mean, we do come back next year and finish the movie, so hopefully he will.
You talked about seeing the film on Sunday. When you saw the film, what were your first thoughts about Peter Jackson's direction of it?
The thing that really inspires me about Peter is that he is as fascinated with technology and advancing technology in cinema as he is with character and story. And put those two things together, it's something incredible has been created that I've never seen before.
I was part of the media conference this morning, and one of the subjects that came up was working with a green screen. How did you find that?
It requires you to engage your imagination in the same way that you would as if you were doing theatre. And I come from a theatre background, so for me it was really pleasurable. And Pete communicates his vision to you very clearly. His artists give you so much visual reference that it just fires up your imagination, and then you work from there.
Richard, at the risk of objectifying you, how do you feel about being one of the pin-ups in the film?
I thought you were going to say hot dwarf, but I can say we were extremely hot throughout filming. We were swelteringly hot, not unlike today, but I don't know. It was never something I considered when I created the role, but I guess someone that is a hero is going to inspire that.
You are very inspiring, and we would like to release you to your adoring public. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you very much, Carol. The lovely man, Richard Armitage, Andy Serkis has just arrived here on the red carpet, and he is just, it's a maelstrom of energy. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. What a day.
What a day.
Let's turn it on. Fantastic. Look at it.
Now, I could just tell you that the red carpet isn't just around the corner. It keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, so I've heard, but actually I have done this before, funnily enough.
Yeah, funnily enough, you have. Now, also being Gollum, but also second unit director as well. What a challenge that would have been.
Oh, it was an amazing challenge. I mean, and very unexpected. It was an unexpected journey, wasn't it? Because I found out literally a month before we were going to start principal photography. Peter asked me to come down, and so going from a few weeks reprising the role of Gollum, it suddenly became a year and a half's work. So, but it was fun. It was a great challenge.
Like you said, you've had history here before, walking this red carpet. What do you expect from them today?
Well, I mean, I know how crazy it was last time. I don't expect it to be any less crazy. It's so fantastic that you know, my second home, that everybody's turned out. Just for me, it's fantastic, really, isn't it?
Now, tell me, what was it like doing Gollum again. I read that it sounded like it was doing an impersonation of Gollum. Like so many people had improvised and mimicked and imitated him.
That's right, that's right. Just for the first couple of days, well, actually, the first day, it was like I was going through, I thought I was being Gollum, but I realised that actually somewhere in the back of my mind, perhaps I was actually doing an impersonation of thousands of people's impersonations of Gollum. It was quite weird, but then acting against Martin, you know, very quickly we got into it.
What was it like seeing yourself at the airport as Gollum?
Yes. I mean, you know, so you get on, let me just explain the journey. You get on the plane in London, your menu is Bilbo Baggins' front door, then you put on your Hobbit flight socks, then you get out at Auckland Airport and you go through, you know, enter into Mordor, and then you come, you know, and then there's Gollum up in the lounge when you arrive. It's extraordinary.
What have these last couple of days been like for you leading up, especially for the people who weren't on the first trilogy?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for them, they're all very sort of, they're all in shock. They're all aware that something massive is about to happen, and this sort of quiet before the storm was gently getting a little bit more tense, and but I think everybody just wants to enjoy themselves now we've got here, you know. I mean, it's been a long road to get here, as you well know. You know, lots of trials, lots of tribulations, but it's so fantastic to be able to celebrate now.
You've made 1 metre, and there's another 499 to go. I have to let you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Carol.
Wow. I am working my way to two very special men. In fact, it's a bit of a huddle here, but I'm going to get in and try and speak with the lovely Aidan Turner. It's going very well, and I'm going to get your terrible twin as soon as he is a disaster, isn't he? So, I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, did you ever in your wildest dreams imagine being part of a premiere like this, Aidan?
Not really. No, it's so surreal, actually. It's like the most the wackiest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world, you know. We're the float or something, you know. It's amazing. Yeah.
Now I have the fantastic, and he's one of our own. I've got to say, Dean O'Gorman. Look, you two are the terrible twins, aren't you?
Terrible twins? Maybe.
Terrible actors, yeah, fair enough.
Tell me about the fun you had being the sort of the cutie pie boys together.
Cutie pie. Oh, look, the whole shoot was amazing. Yeah, we had a great. I don't think it was more enjoyable because we were the younger of the dwarves, but it was. Yeah, it's something else.
When did you actually meet, you two?
Like we've been dating.
I know.
Yeah.
I see it as a bromance.
It is a bit of a bromance, actually. We're quite proud of that. When did we meet? Right before at the audition, yeah.
I was auditioning, and Aidan had already been cast, and
he
so
did all right. Me and Philip had to talk about it. We decided to give him the job, you know, and he's been doing all right since. I think. Not so good in the second movie, but he carries the first one out. Yeah.
Tell me about the strangest things that you did together. But it is a family show, so we'll keep it clean.
Sticking with the bromance. Some of the strangest things we did together, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. It's anything strange. The whole thing was quite strange.
Yeah.
You know, killing trolls and giant spiders and orcs on a daily basis is quite strange.
I was standing on Aidan's shoulders. We had to fight some trolls, and I was,
you were on a wire. That's right.
Standing on Aidan's, Aidan's
but
shoulders.
that's just how the general kind of day goes. So everything is so wacky anyway. It's hard to pick out the strange bits, you know.
Yeah.
There was a lovely moment at the press conference today where one of the actors was talking about how the dwarves used to go out into a park together and try and move as a group together.
Yeah, the dwarven movement class. No, we weren't a part of that. Unfortunately, we were. You may have blanked it from the memory. Yeah, one of the more embarrassing parts of the preparation for this, walking around with in the squat position. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to learn to walk like a dwarf, and it's not a very flattering way to walk.
We never used any of the techniques, so I don't know why we bothered doing it in the first place.
No.
And tell me, did you all end up with golden rings that you?
I left mine in Dublin.
I forgot mine as well.
Right, okay.
It's with me in spirit, though.
We'll let you off the hook, and we'll let you meet all of these adoring fans that have come out. Please have a wonderful night.
Well, here we are. Sir Richard Taylor has arrived at the red carpet. You're at the very beginning of the red carpet. Hello, how are you?
Oh, terrific, thank you. Yeah, it's exciting.
It is exciting. You've done this before, but the same thing must be coming over your body at the moment, the excitement, the thrill, but the job isn't finished yet.
No, there's a couple of years still to go, but the neatest thing about this time is my family are on the red carpet with me, and that's cool. A lot's changed in 10 years.
It certainly has. Tell us, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, how much more work was it since the first trilogy?
This was a big one. Going back to Middle-earth was incredible, of course, but we wanted to give the audience something special and different. So it took a lot of design and a lot of endeavour, but we've got here today.
What's your favourite thing you designed? What's the favourite thing you got your hands on that went from the drawing board to actually being in your hand?
Without doubt, the 13 dwarves, of course. I lived them as a child in my head when I read the book, and now being able to create them is an amazing thing.
What do you expect from today? I mean, it is such a fantastic crowd and beautiful weather. Did you organise the weather? You can do miracles with props.
We can't do the weather, unfortunately, but it is another special Wellington day, so we're very lucky.
And tell me, what can you tell me about what the people who haven't done this before, what can they expect?
Well, to discover the community spirit of Wellington again. This is because amazing... Hey, Elijah! Amazing people come together, so...
A lot of people have been talking about the technological advances and the way the film has been shot. What can you say about the way it has developed over the last time?
Well, as Peter does always, he pushes technology to the absolute limit, and this film has incorporated every new groundbreaking technique that he's able to use to make great cinema.
Excellent. Well, enjoy the rest of the red carpet. You have a bit to go, and we'll see you later on.
Very noisy. Very good. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Elijah is here.
What a beautiful Steadicam.
It is a beautiful Steadicam. You must...
Technology on the red carpet. It's wonderful.
No expenses spared. Tell me, what are you expecting from today?
Well, look, I mean, all of Wellington seems to be here. It's extraordinary. You know, this is echoing into the past for me, because we'd been down Courtney Place before with Return of the King. So there's a lot of you know, muscle memory, but it's beautiful, and I'm so excited to be a part of this and to be supporting this beautiful film, and so excited for all of the dwarves and for Peter. It's an incredible accomplishment, and it kind of was beyond my expectations. It's really wonderful.
How good is it that it's now 3 films? You must be very excited that they have enough time to tell so much more of the story.
Yes, indeed. And I think what's great about it is, you know, it was actually, we were doing interviews the other day, and Hugo Weaving was saying that, you know, Lord of the Rings is 3 films, but in some ways it could have been 6 or 7 or 8, you know, considering how much story there was to tell. The beautiful thing about expounding upon The Hobbit is that it actually allows the story to breathe a little bit, and it gives it time for character development and for further sort of delving into various parts of the story. It's wonderful that it's 3. It makes so much sense. And, you know, they shoot so much footage. They just shoot so much footage, so it makes sense. I'm not surprised, you know.
It's not film these days, it's data that takes up all the space.
Yes, indeed.
What did you make of Martin's performance as Bilbo?
Martin is so wonderful. When I first heard that he was being considered for the role before he was actually cast, I was so thrilled. You know, in my mind, I couldn't have really imagined anyone else to play the character. It's such perfect casting. And after seeing the film, he's brilliant. You know, he's the right amount of funny and sort of, he's got strange qualities, and then there's also real gravity to him and real heart. He's the heart of the movie, and he really pulled it off. It's beautiful. I'm so proud of him.
That first scene that he shot with Andy Serkis as Gollum, really, it was his first scene on the set.
Iconic. You know, to shoot the Riddles in the Dark sequence as your first jump into the world of The Hobbit, this iconic chapter. I mean, it was, as a child, it was my favorite chapter in any book that I'd ever read. So to start with that is so wonderful for both of them, too, to kind of, for Andy to get back into that world of that character, and for Martin to sort of start to work on the character of Bilbo. It's beautiful.
Have we given you a passport yet?
No, I'd love one. I'd love one. I honestly feel like every time I land in Wellington Airport, it feels like I'm coming home. And I've felt like that for over 10 years. So I love it here. I love it here.
Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Indeed. Thank you.
Excellent.
I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure.
The misty mountains crawl to dungeons deep and caverns wide. So, this is the Hobbit. I cannot guarantee his safety. Understood.
is now behind you. The world is ahead.
The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. Only in cinemas.
Me? John, hello. Come and have a chat about this extraordinary, unexpected journey that you've been on.
Yeah, it has been, was quite unexpected. I was working a couple of years ago and rang my agent and said, look, this job I'm doing is finishing in a couple of days. I need you to set me up with something that is going to see me through my retirement. And 2 days later, she rang and said, are you sitting down? I said, actually, I'm not. I'm vacuuming dog hair off the sofa. Should I do that? And she told me I've been cast.
Utterly spooky. Tell me about the shooting experience from your perspective.
Well, I loved it because I've directed a lot of television work, including some television dramas, a couple of documentary dramas, Shortland Street, and so Shortland Street is very fast turnaround television. This is the other end of the spectrum. Absolutely exciting.
What was really clear in the media conference earlier this morning was the close brotherhood between all of the dwarves. It is amazing. Was it simply through spending so much time together, or are you a natural... Is there natural chemistry between you all?
Well, both of those things, really. I have worked with a number of the New Zealand actors in it, so knew them already, and so there was a great, tremendous energy there already, and then meeting up with all the wonderful actors who've come from overseas, it just built on the whole thing. It just carried on. It was wonderful.
What was the most difficult, the most challenging part of the business for you?
I guess... being somewhat older than some of them, I did find it a little difficult to keep up with them sometimes, you know, especially wearing huge costumes. It was a bit hot, it was a bit heavy, and if they said, sorry, we've got to start again tomorrow, I would do it.
John, you've seen the film, and your thoughts about it?
I think it's an extraordinary piece of work. I think it takes the wonderful feeling for Aotearoa that we have, and it extends that through the new ideas that Peter Jackson has brought to it, the new technology that he's added to it. The whole thing, I think, has taken filmmaking to a much higher level than it was.
Absolutely thrilling. Lovely to talk with you, John. Have a great premiere night.
Thank you. Kia ora.
Was it a vice-like grip? They took it from you, or was it a little bit tired, a little bit weary?
Well, it's a vice-like grip, but I do know that if I didn't have a movie here for the premiere, I'd be in awful trouble. I'd be in the poo, as we say. So I made sure we got it finished in time for this.
Does this re-energise you a day like today?
Yeah, I mean it does. It's certainly the adrenaline kicks in when you've got all these incredible people standing here, been camping overnight here. Yeah, the adrenaline's running just fine. I don't feel so tired right now.
I'm not sure if you've been asked this question, but what is your favourite part of this movie? You can't say all of it either.
No, well, I mean, I haven't really seen the movie properly. I've seen it kind of once through, but tonight's the first time I'm going to sit down and watch it really with an audience. I like Bilbo. I think Martin Freeman is absolutely brilliant as Bilbo, and I like the wonderful sense of comic timing that he brings to the movie.
What does it mean to have this world premiere in Wellington?
Well, it's the home crowd, isn't it? Can't do better. The fantastic crowd.
Peter Hamilton is with me, and it is a real thrill to speak with you, Peter. And of course, this is your hometown, Wellington. How do you feel when it's turning it on like this?
Oh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud for Wellington, and it's a brilliant celebration of how hard thousands of people have worked for this movie, for this project. And Wellington sure knows how to turn on a party, doesn't it?
Well, I was just talking to John Callan about how hard he worked. Tell me, physically, only just. It was touch and go, let me tell you. How rigorous was it on you physically?
Oh, it was tough at times, and it was certainly all the sweat at the gym beforehand and the training really paid off. And we've got to take it to another level for filming next year, a lot more battle scenes and things like that. So, here's Mark arriving, great. And look, you know, heat and various factors meant at times it was very challenging, but we were so well looked after, you know.
What did you feel when you actually saw the movie all together finally in one piece?
I was absolutely flabbergasted. I mean, I fully expected it to be amazing in every way, but I really did just sit there open-mouthed and because I think I said to Peter, you know, you've set an extraordinary standard right off the bat, you know, for the first film, and I think it's going to blow people's minds. I really do.
We've talked a little bit about the groundbreaking technology with the 48 frames per second. Tell me, what was your impression of it when you saw it? How will audiences react, do you think?
Well, I found, even though it's been part of my life for the last 2 years, you know, and I'm close to the story in that sense, I found I was just enchanted, hooked into it within a few seconds. The kind of depth and the quality of the images, and then the storytelling, the character, you've got great acting right there from Ian Holm right for the first few seconds. I mean, what's not to love, you know?
You, of course, had a wonderful original story to work with.
About the best possible script writer you can have, but I think people will come to see how brilliantly clever Philippa and Fran and Peter and Guillermo originally have been in adapting it into 3 films.
And Peter, were you a Tolkien fan before you began?
Yes, I was one of those many people. I was lucky enough to have a wonderful teacher when I was at primary school who read us the whole book through 1 year, and so I mean, there's many of us out there who it's very close to our heart, that story. So.
Thrilling to hear, and I really hope that you have a tremendous night here. As I said, in your hometown, Wellington, you deserve it.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super.
Barry Humphries, you are joining me here on this camera, and your adoring crowd is already responding to you.
No, that's someone else's adoring crowd.
Not at all. Barry, tell us a little bit about what this experience of being part of the Hobbit, an unexpected journey, has been like for you.
First of all, let me say that a few years ago I was doing a show in Atlanta, Georgia, and there were old-timers there who remembered the world premiere of Gone with the Wind. And when Clark Gable and Vivien Leigh came down the main street in an open car, that is very similar to today in Wellington, New Zealand. It's an event kids are going to remember, I think. It's magnificent. And I don't think anyone would have guessed 20 years ago that New Zealand would be very famous for food and for fashion and for film. And Peter Jackson is responsible for this great triumph, I think.
He is indeed. How did you react to the film when you saw it, Barry?
I've never seen it.
Ah, this is a first for you this evening in the embassy.
I'm still in this film.
You certainly are. You take a really key role, and you are a quite extraordinary creation. Tell me a little bit about the process of being made up for this role.
Well, you don't get much made up. This whole business of motion capture is a mysterious technical thing, and it's revolutionary, and this will be the most advanced movie ever made. You don't get made up. You have little spots put over you, and the computer does the rest. Don't tell me. It's a mystery. But I am very unrecognizable in this film, I hope.
You are unrecognizable, despite what Kate Blanchett said at the media conference this morning. How was it to be directed by Peter Jackson? What was that experience like?
It's marvelous, because Peter Jackson manages to get the best out of everyone. And the mood of the whole company, and that's not just the artists, but the whole technical crew, everyone involved in the film, is very high because of his personality. He's an amazing little guy.
There was a lot of dress up for others in the film. Do you think Dame Edna might have been a little envious?
I think Dame Edna would love to have been in this film, but unfortunately she's too old.
Are you looking forward to the 2 next films in the trilogy?
Well, I'm not really, because I'm not in any of them.
Just as a viewer, I'm sure you will enjoy the experience, though. You are a frequent visitor to New Zealand, I think, Barry.
I've been coming to New Zealand since the late 1950s, before anyone watching this was born. And I've always been a big fan of Kiwis.
Why is that?
I'm looking, well, look in the mirror.
You are one of the world's most charming men. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll release you to this adoring public, and I hope they lavish you with praise tonight. They will.
Who the hell I am, I think.
Thank you so much, Barry. To another.
Humphreys, what a great man to follow. He's amazing.
I guess that was one of the most obvious things this morning, Mark, looking at the cast and crew, is just how extraordinary a group it is.
It's amazing. You're surrounded by these actors all the time, and they're incredible. They're so talented. They're inspirations, actually, all of them. Martin Freeman, Kate Blanchett, you just watch them work and they're amazing. Richard Armitage, and even in my New Zealand colleagues, the Jed Brophies and Peter Hambletons, wonderful actors in their own right. But to put us all together in one room is like chaos. We're very naughty when we're all together, and it's fantastic.
I can absolutely see you. Most of the time, you're sort of finishing off each other's sentences. You're very, very close, aren't you?
We are. We're all very close, and because I think we've worked together, and because all of the English actors that we know, all the actors that have come from overseas, we've known them like household names for ages anyway. So it's like, and they've just been so obliging and so welcoming of us. Jimmy Nesbitt, Ken Stott, all those wonderful people have just opened up and let us become part of that whole team. How could we lose? It's fantastic, Carol. It's the most extraordinary experience of my career so far. It's amazing.
Tell me a little bit about being part of the Tolkien legacy, if you like. How has it changed your life, Mark?
Well, it has. I've actually met his great-grandson, Royd, who is just, what a lovely man he is. So I keep having a joke with him saying, ladies and gentlemen, it's, J.R. Tolkien's great-grandson. And, but that's so infectious, because there's something about his style, there's something about his storytelling that is just full of fantasy, but it's a real fantasy. And you actually have to go on the travel. You have to do the journey, and if you don't, it ends up being a very discombobulated thing, and so you must do the journey, and I'm doing the journey with these wonderful actors and wonderful crew and wonderful director called Sir Peter Jackson, who's just an inspiration to all of us to get in there, as well as Philippa and Fran, of course.
Now, I'm going to say, I think you might be Peter Jackson's biggest fan, really.
Oh, look, I've known Peter for a long time, and we're not friends or anything like that. We're just work colleagues, and he is an extraordinary, Meet the Feebles was an extraordinary invitation to Sir Peter, and then King Kong, and then and from there you just go from strength to strength, and you know what Peter wants. You have to adapt to what Peter wants, because he knows what the story is. He's got the best idea of what the story is going to be, and so if you can let go of your ego and let go of what you think you should be doing and understand what Peter wants and convert that into your character, you're going to go with the story, and that's what we've all done. It's been wonderful, Carol, and people like Jed Brophy, who play your brother in the thing. Come
in, Jed Brophy. It's a tag team. It's
no, seriously. Him with Adam Brown.
I've never met
playing
this
the brothers.
guy I don't know.
He's amazing. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You enjoy.
Were you
Thank you, Carol.
Were you?
No, I wasn't. Actually, only a little bit. I love you, brother. See you later.
Running away. It's beautiful to talk to you, Mark, and it's beautiful to have you, Jed Brophy. What are you feeling when you see this sea of people, the sea of fans?
This is amazing. Wellington really turns it on. This is the second time I've been on a red carpet event here in Wellington after Return of the King, and this is just as good, if not better.
Look, it is glamorous. It's a glorious event to be part of. But tell me, is it ever intimidating to be involved in such an enormous film?
Yeah, of course it is. It's
as an actor you have to back yourself, but you never imagine that you have the teeth to actually cut it in this world, and we don't get to do it very often as Kiwis. We're a bit self-effacing. I'm a small town boy from Taihape, so this is a bit much for me. There's more people here than have ever lived in Taihape in the history of the place, so...
Tell me, is Taihape celebrating tonight? They should be.
Yeah, they probably are. I mean, I haven't told them I'm in the film.
I bet they've figured it out. You know, what I saw when I was at the media conference this morning was this extraordinary brotherhood between all of the dwarves. Yeah. You know, I think, you know, it runs contrary to what we may think about actors being deliberately competitive with one another.
Yeah, it is a true ensemble, and really... the film doesn't work unless we actually play off each other. They are a group of people that have come together with a common cause, and it has to show that. And Peter and Fran and Philip did a great thing in terms of giving us 8 weeks to train together, to get to know each other, to become friends, to embrace them into how we rock as New Zealanders for a start, and to become this brotherhood of dwarves, because they'll fail otherwise.
Talking about rocking as New Zealanders, how did those foreign folk get used to us? Did they get used to us quickly?
They really did. I mean, I think New Zealanders are so friendly. We have this openness about us that they love. And also there aren't a lot of stalkers in New Zealand. People tend to go, wow, that's Ian McKellen, hi Ian, and then leave them alone. They don't get chased like they do overseas, and I think that is refreshing for them, and it's refreshing for us. And because we're so happy to have them here, because they're working on such a great project, I think they felt embraced.
Jed, are you ready for another huge wave of fandom?
I guess I have to be.
You do?
Yeah, I am looking forward to it actually. I love the fans. This is what we do it for.
And you'll be on a publicity circuit with the film for a few more weeks.
We get to go to New York, and then we're lucky enough to go to London, where my brother gets to come on the red carpet with me, so see you soon, Andy. That'll be great.
Absolutely. Look, I won't hold you any longer. Please go and enjoy yourself and walk what could be the longest red carpet in the world.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Wellington. Thank you.
Can I help you?
I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure.
So, this is the Hobbit.
The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
My name is Bilbo Baggins.
Can we cook him?
I wouldn't risk it, I really wouldn't. Can you promise that I will come back?
If you do, you will not be the same.
The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, only in cinemas.
We're live at the world premiere of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, and with me is one of the extremely handsome elves, Mr. Hugo Weaving.
Thank you. Most elves don't sport beards, but every now and then they get a bit bored, they have to grow them.
Were you trying to channel the kind of inner dwarf?
Yeah, I think Tolkien actually describes him as a sort of venerable as a dwarf king, so I feel I have to embody the spirit of the whole of Middle-earth, not just the elvish kingdoms.
Look, this was a very minor theme that I thought was running in the film, but it seemed to me that the elves were a bit English, and dare I say it, our dwarves were a bit Scottish-Irish.
Yeah, there's a Celtic thread that goes through certain of the peoples of Middle-earth, and actually once upon a time the elves had weird Celtic accents as well, but we abandoned that well before Lord of the Rings, and they became much more prim and proper.
Hugo, what was it like reconnecting with this whole filmmaking process?
Look, it's so wonderful coming here. I genuinely love this country, and I think what Pete has done is he's put this country, he celebrates the culture of this country so much, and Lord of the Rings is so much prosecutes this countryside and this culture, and it's always lovely to come back here, very welcoming, and it feels like every time I come back it's like no time's passed at all. And even though 10, 12 years have gone by, it feels like it's, nothing's changed in some ways, and yet what he's doing with the films has grown and grown and grown each time. So it's always a real pleasure and a thrill to come back.
Were you a Tolkien fan before you got involved with the films?
Yeah, I read The Hobbit as a little kid, and then read The Hobbit to my children. They both loved it. Lord of the Rings I dipped into and then put down, and then when we came to shoot Lord of the Rings, that's when I thought, perhaps I better read it. So I wasn't a massive Tolkien fan, but I always loved The Hobbit.
And your children, how old are they? And do you think they'll be rushing along to this film?
No, they're very excited about it. They were here many years ago on a red carpet similar to this, Once Upon a Time. And my daughter's now just about to turn 20. She's in New York, and my son's 23. 24, and he's in Sydney. So no, they're looking forward to seeing it.
And truly, did it feel like you were back with a group of very close old friends when you started making this?
Yeah, absolutely. It really felt like, not just the cast actually. In fact, a lot of the cast I was very excited to meet because I hadn't met them before. But the crew, everyone on set, just driving into the studios, the people you first see are faces you know very well. So it felt like no time had passed really. And the ethos on set is very much one of, well, let's just work, and there's no nonsense. You have a lot of fun, and it is very much like a family atmosphere. So yeah, it was great.
And before you know it, you'll be involved in 2 more.
Yes, I'm not sure whether Elrond gets to be in the 3rd film, but we'll see. They might drag him back. Who knows?
Well, for us fans, we'll be crossing our fingers and crossing our toes. Hugo Weaving, have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
The Hobbit is having its world premiere here in Wellington, New Zealand.
Once you're on set, you have a big job to do. You know, we were shooting for 18 months, huge logistics all around New Zealand. But fortunately we had an incredible crew, great support behind us. But shooting the movie is always the hardest part.
I love Bilbo. I love the whole. You know, it's a fantastic world. It's a fantastic story, and I'm very genuinely honoured to be doing it. Yeah. This wasn't really part of my world as a kid, so I had to come to it quite freshly as a grown-up. And I can totally see why it is so beloved by people, you know, because it is by me now.
Well, the whole thing, I mean, it's called An Unexpected Journey, but I think for all of us it was extremely unexpected. And I think the film for the fans will be unexpected as well.
I never thought that I would play a dwarf, so I was kind of suspicious and surprised that they asked me. And then I read the scene that they gave me to audition, and it contained all of the qualities of Thorin that was going to happen throughout the 3 movies. And it was big shoes to fill, so I just practiced my sword fighting and worked hard to fill those big shoes. Yeah.
You're the smouldering younger man of the dwarfs. Smouldering, I don't know.
I want that one. You want that one? I want to be the smouldering one. What do you? Yeah, give him something else.
All the dwarves and all the guys in the cast, you know, we're like a big family, and it's so great to see them all again.
Well, what's interesting in the film and in the book, of course, the dwarves go on this journey, but we as actors were doing the same thing.
I'm actually the odd one out, because I have an orc axe buried in my forehead. So look out for poor old Biffa.
Peter and Fran and Philip did a great thing in terms of giving us 8 weeks to train together, to get to know each other, to become friends, and to become this brotherhood of dwarves.
Well, yeah, Ori is my baby. I love him so much. You know, all the other dwarves are big, butch guys, axe-wielding, with big beards, and basically, yeah, I've got a knitted cardigan on.
I'm running about inside my higgledy-piggledy house, and it was just, I was given this amazing freedom to improvise.
Being somewhat older than some of them, I did find it a little difficult to keep up with them sometimes, you know, especially wearing huge costumes. It was a bit hot, it was a bit heavy, and if they said, sorry, we've got to start again tomorrow, I would do it.
You're surrounded by these actors all the time, and they're incredible. They're so talented. They're inspirations, actually, all of them.
People will come to see how brilliantly clever Philippa and Fran and Peter have been in adapting it into 3 films.
You know, you try really hard and you're focused so intently on what you're doing, and this is just like the icing on the cake, especially when you see all these incredible fans come out for the film. It's you know, it's heartwarming.
I honestly feel like every time I land in Wellington Airport, it feels like I'm coming home. And I've felt like that for over 10 years.
It feels like every time I come back, it's like no time's passed at all. And even though 10, 12 years have gone by, it feels like it's, you know, nothing's changed in some ways. And yet what he's doing with the films has grown and grown and grown each time. So it's always a real pleasure and a thrill to come back.
What was your favourite part of the film that you're in? Can you give anything away?
I'm in.
Yeah.
The killing.
Now tell me, what was it like doing Gollum again.
Actually, the first day, it was like I was going through, I thought I was being Gollum, but I realised that actually somewhere in the back of my mind, perhaps I was actually doing an impersonation of thousands of people's impersonations of Gollum. It was quite weird, but then acting against Martin, you know, very quickly we got into it.
What can I say? Well, precious, you can say it's nice to be back, isn't it? Yes.
On set, and I think the journey that the dwarves go on through this whole story is very similar to the journey that we went on as people, getting to know each other. And I think a lot of that comes with the fact that the casting was fantastic. There's a lot of individual personalities in these dwarves. It's quite close, probably more than you realise.
Tell me about your wee baby, not a baby anymore.
No, she's just turned 2, and she has ginger hair, just like Bomba, and she's gorgeous.
Absolutely special. One day she's going to see Dad in this fantastic film and be very proud. Have a fantastic night, and thanks so much for stopping to talk.
Let's go. Thanks.
Well, joining me at the end of the red carpet in front of a massive stage that he built, this must have been something that took 5 minutes compared to what you as the production designer came up with. Dan Henner.
Yeah, well, it was a little more than 5 minutes, but it was sort of designed to work as a forced perspective piece with Gandalf in the background. So it was all part of the same plan, really.
If you could go back in time and tell 12-year-old Dan that you were going to play with all these amazing toys, what do you think that reaction would be?
Well, you know, I'd read The Hobbit when I was 11, and all I ever wanted to do was read it again and see some pictures. And, you know, in those days there were no pictures, so no pictures of The Hobbit. So it was pretty cool to, a few years later.
A few years later. Tell me, what were the challenges in building everything and making everything come to life and come to life on film in the way that Sir Peter wanted to shoot it, in the 48 frames and the 3D?
Well, 48 frames 3D it does provide a whole lot of challenges because you see a lot more. So it means you have to put a lot more attention into the detail. You've got to really make sure your colours are working. Colour, it tends to eat colour, so you add a little more colour. And then when you look at it, oh, maybe that's too much. But then you see it on film and it's just right. So, yeah, a lot of challenges.
Tell me about the people that worked with you. Tell me about the people that worked so hard and made this come to life with you. What was it like?
We had 400 people at our peak, and every one of them contributed something to this film, to these films, you know. So, I mean, without a doubt, the most fantastic art crew I've ever worked with, and just dedicated every day. We were working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, turning out sets. So, and you know, I didn't do that on my own. There's a hell of a lot of people putting something into that.
Absolutely. And your favourite set that you made that you really enjoyed it coming to life from the drawing board?
I think on this film it's Goblin Caves. Goblin Caves is a very intricate, has a lot of pieces. They change around every night. So every night when the shooting crew went home, we put it all together in a different configuration and shots and all. So.
It was like the ultimate pick-a-path, the Goblin's Cave.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's a cool environment.
All right, Dan, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the film, and I know that you're going to enjoy the rest of the night as well.
Thank you very much.
Dan Henner, what a fantastic set designer he is. The production designer, amazing. And you can see there the aerial shot of Courtney Place. And the crowd are just starting to swell towards the end, Carol. I can tell you now that we are just about 10 minutes away from the official speeches. And this will come to a close. And then another chapter, you could say, will open inside the theatres.
I know. I feel very excited, actually, for the audience who are going to see the film at the Embassy, because they're going to see it with all the finishing flourishes. And it'll be just the most extraordinary cinematic experience.
And if you are one of the thousands, tens of thousands that have joined us on the red carpet on Courtney Place in Wellington, New Zealand, congratulations for being so patient, and I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you had a great time and you got to see all the people you wanted to see, because it's just a great feeling to be able to see Wellington come out and show its true colours today.
And tell me, Andrew, have you managed to speak to your favourite dwarves?
I have. I've managed to speak to everyone I wanted to, and some I didn't want to because I didn't think I'd get the chance to, which has been fantastic as well.
Oh, look, what I also love about today is the creativity and imagination that is so evident in the crowd. The way that they've dressed up, it's amazing.
Yeah, and the energy of the actors and the production crew and the people who made this film come to life, watching them absorb all that colour and pageantry and all the emotion and drama and the people, the colour, coming to life here to see the people love them for what they do, because they're tucked away in sound stages and studios and production suites. They don't really get to feel what it's like to bring a film to life except for one day.
Absolutely, and I think one of the most gorgeous aspects of this film is actually the music. The score by Howard Shore is sublime, and also Neil Finn's Song of the Lonely Mountain. I can imagine it becoming a classic in years to come.
Yeah, it certainly is. It is a fantastic score. And of course, the reason that we are here is to take in The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey.
Can I help you? I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure. So, this is The Hobbit. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
My name is Bilbo Baggins.
Can we cook him?
I wouldn't risk it, I really wouldn't. Can you promise that I will come back?
If you do, you will not be the same.
The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, only in cinemas.
To the east, over ranges and rivers, lies a single solitary peak. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
I like visitors as much as the next Hobbit. But I do like to know them before they come visiting.
Mr. Baggins?
At your service. I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Oh, they're quite a merry gathering. So, this is The Hobbit. You asked me to find the 14th member of this company, and I have chosen Mr. Baggins.
Me? No.
Hobbits can pass unseen by most if they choose, which gives us a distinct advantage.
We will seize this chance to take back Erebor!
Here, Mr. Bilbo, where are you off to? I'm going on an adventure!
Mithrandir, why the halfling?
Why Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. It gives me courage.
So this is your purpose, to enter the mountain?
What of it?
There are some who would not deem it wise.
The dark path has found a way back into the world.
Why don't we have a game of riddles?
And if it loses, what then? Well, if it loses, precious, then we eat it. If Baggins loses, we need it whole.
Fair enough. I will take each and every one of these dwarves over the mightiest army. Loyalty, honor, a willing heart. I can ask no more than that. Home is now behind you. The world is ahead.
It is absolutely coming to a head here at the end of the red carpet. With me, Aidan Turner, you're Killy.
Yes, I'm Killy, yeah.
You're Philly, you're Dino Corman.
I think so.
I got it wrong when we were off camera, but you two are a duo. Now, Aidan, tell me, what was it like being someone who didn't have to have a massive hairy beard?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, our makeup rig was so small, so I'm hearing an echo myself. It's quite weird. Yeah, we saved ourselves about an hour and a half every morning by not having the whole rig. It was amazing. Yeah, it was great.
And Dean, what was it like for you? You're the smouldering younger man of the dwarfs.
What's that?
You're the smouldering younger man of the dwarfs.
Smouldering? I don't know.
I want that one.
You want that one?
Yeah, I want to be the smouldering one. What do you? Yeah, give him something else. I'm happy with smouldering.
Almost as smouldering as Graham and Richard Armitage, who blue steeled a lot. They were great.
They were, yeah, they were amazing. I mean, Graham is super scary as well, and he's quite the man. He loves that. He's a wimp in real life.
As a New Zealander, what's this like having the Hobbit premiere back in Wellington again?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's amazing. This is such an incredible day for everybody who's been involved in it.
And for you, Aidan, what's the response like on this red carpet?
It's amazing. I mean, I walked down the street so many times. I was telling somebody earlier on, my dentist is over there. That's where I used to play pool. I used to go to Reading Cinema. Now to walk down like this is pretty overwhelming, actually.
What was your favourite scene filming together? Was it when you're in Bag End, throwing dishes around, singing? It was being described as a frat party earlier.
Yeah, well, there was many frat parties, not just Bag End. I don't know. I mean, when we were in... I'm thinking of other movies now, you know?
So much. It was like 18 months worth of experience. It's very hard to think of one particular moment.
The Bag End was fun. Camaraderie as well would have been strong. You guys looked like you were a team.
Say that again?
The camaraderie was strong between not just you two, but also all of you. Yeah. What was it like being a team?
Well, that's the thing. It's just not sounding cheesy, but it was like a big family. I mean, we all got along so well. I mean, all of us. It's a big brotherhood, you know?
Well, Dean, Aidan, enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Carol, back to you.
Well, I've got these two delicious men with me, and they have finally made it down this marathon red carpet. How was that?
Well, yeah, sensational. But I mean, what's interesting about it is, of course, this should be ridiculous and overwhelming, which it is, but in a way it's not surprising because I'm so used to the warmth of the Wellington people, you know, that I'm seeing like friends that I've met here in bars and restaurants for the last 2 years, so it's like seeing old friends, but also incredibly exciting.
But it's all the people that you met in bars that are here, aren't they?
I hear you were a really keen golf player when you were here, James.
Yeah, no, I was a member of Miramar. I played a lot, and because we got the odd day off, and it was just great. You know what's fantastic about Wellington is I brought my family here, and they were very nervous, and they were very scared about what it was going to be like. And within a week, they realised that the pace of life here is gentle, the culture is rich and alluring, the education system is relaxed but brilliant. The life was fantastic. Yeah. And so when I think about New Zealand, I think about the life here, and then I suddenly remember, oh yeah, and I also did The Hobbit with Peter Jackson, so it's amazing.
Well put. Well put. I had exactly the same experience. My family is still here. My daughter's still at school here, and it's a special, precious place for a child to grow up.
And that must have been terrifically hard, actually tearing them away again.
Oh yeah, no, I'm dreading tearing them away. I really am.
James?
But you know, as I think I may have mentioned to you before, I think the biggest testament to the film and to the city is that my kids' lives were changed here. They can't wait to come back, and I also can't wait to come back to work here.
Talking about lives being changed, obviously, when a movie is as big as this one, it must change your lives. Tell me, how has it affected you?
Well, I think we've made friendships here that will last for the rest of our lives. I really do. You get to know people on this job in a way that you don't on others. And, you know, I'm lucky that I've met people like Jimmy and Stephen Hunter and Adam Brown and all the other guys. It's just, you know, you don't get that kind of experience in life generally, especially as an actor.
But also, you know, it starts at the top, this movie. I mean, Peter leads it. But he leads it with such generosity and collaboration and grace. And, you know, I think a lot of what the people are here today for is to sort of subconsciously or consciously say thank you to Peter for what he's done for the country. But he's very grateful to the country. He's a proud Kiwi. And I'm very proud to have the chance to work with him and very proud to have the chance to work and live amongst all these people.
Well, it's been truly wonderful having you both here, and wonderfully, we may see more of you in the future.
Well, listen, you know, as you know, there's another couple of films. We're coming back here in May for 2 months, apparently, but trust me, that could turn into 2 years. And if it does, I won't be that sorry.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we don't mind how long we're going to be here.
It must, at some level, be slightly intimidating being part of such a mega movie like this. Did you feel that? Did you feel the pressure?
Well, I think you feel a responsibility for the legacy that has been created by others. You know, in terms of the writing, in terms of what I grew up with reading the books, and what I later had when I was seeing the films as an adult, it's fantastic. You know.
But yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, it does feel like there's a responsibility. But it was also so generous. There are no hidden agendas on this movie. There are no massive egos. Everyone was all working together. So yes, you're aware that there is a kind of crazy life to this movie outside of it. But half the time it was just you were turning up for work, and it was almost like doing a theatre piece at times. Yeah. There's no job like this job, and there's no place like this place. And I'm not just saying that. This is memorable.
Talking about the craziness, you're just about to go global in terms of promoting the film. Are you ready for this enormous wave of fandom coming your way?
Well, you know, I saw the movie yesterday, as we both did, and I think the movie's good. And so I'm looking forward to being behind something that I believe in, and something that there's still 2 more movies to go. You know, it was important in this film that we had the familiar characters from the past, like Elijah and Kate, and, you know, because that needs to root the film. But now, hopefully in the next 2, people will be a bit more used to the dwarves, and we can start to tell their story more. And I can't wait for it. I mean, it beats working for a living.
Listen, I mean, we did the journey of making these films that we're continuing to make, but when December the 14th happens and people see this, we hand it over to the audience, and it's their journey then, and they're going to be excited by it, I tell you.
I tell you what, the funny thing is, though, I'm just watching myself up on the screen and talking to you, and what you do forget is that I came here 2 years ago. When I went back to London, I thought, oh, I've just been away for a couple of weeks. And then I look up there and I think, who's that old guy? And it's me. I was here for 2 years.
Rubbish. Now, I mean, you're going to see it with all the finishing touches tonight. Are you pretty excited about that aspect of it?
Well, you know, as I say, we watched it yesterday. I know there's been a lot of chat about the whole 48 frames per second. I loved it. I think it's clear and brilliant, and no one loves Tolkien or wants to protect Tolkien more than Peter, Fran and Phil.
Absolutely.
You know, they have grown up living and loving the man's writing.
Well, and that's one of the keys to Peter's direction, is that he directs it as a fan. And when you direct something with that connection to a subject, it's going to be sincere, and he's made that.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for talking with us, and have a tremendous night.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, darling.
What a tremendous night it is going to be, and one of the men who made a tremendous difference to this film is Joe Lettieri, head of Weta Digital. Joe, tell me, what was it like bringing this film to life with your people?
You know, first off, it was like coming home. 10 years ago, we left Middle-earth. We had a day just like this, Return of the King. We all celebrated. And then we kind of went on our ways for 10 years. And it was really great coming back, especially because we started with Gollum. We started with, you know, Andy Serkis, and just getting right back into Middle-earth and welcoming, you know, all of our new friends who are coming in to be a part of these films. And it's wonderful. And we've got 2 more to go.
You certainly do, and I imagine the work doesn't stop tonight, as in a nice relaxing period for you and your friends and your family. But what challenges lay ahead after tonight?
Well, you know, after tonight, we've got, you know, the rest of the stories to tell, and it's all still unfolding in front of us because, you know, as you know, The Hobbit was just one little book. But after Lord of the Rings, Tolkien went back and sort of thought about what was going to be happening and you know, fleshing out the whole backstory. And now Peter, Fran, and Philip have taken that and are now weaving that into the story of The Hobbit. So it's going to be this incredible adventure. So we're just starting that tonight.
What was your favourite part of the film that you worked on? You can't say all of it.
Okay, you got me there, Andrew. But, you know, I still really enjoyed watching Gollum again, just because we started. You know, it was just coming back, and it was just, he was that great character that just brought us right into it.
What has the red carpet been like for you? I mean, today has been sensational, the weather. Did you organise the weather? I asked Richard Taylor.
Yes, exactly. No, we got this all taken care of for you. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, the fans have been fantastic. Look at this. Everyone's been out here all day, and it's just been like a real just outpouring of, you know, people feeling part of the film. And that's because probably everyone here, you know, was touched by the film in some way.
It must be like getting the band back together as well, having everybody come to the premiere.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's great. Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy what's left of the evening, and enjoy the film tonight, and relax and have some time off before you're back into it again.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks, Joe.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Martin Freeman, you have actually reached the end of the longest red carpet in the world. How are you feeling?
Good. I've nearly lost my voice. And I've nearly lost my writing ability.
But I imagine that you have started to feel the love from the audience here and the ownership that people have towards this fantastic film.
I felt a lot of love, actually. For a baying mob, they're very well behaved. You know, there were people, because obviously you can never get to everybody, and very often people get a bit, you know, scratchy about that. But everyone's been really, really well behaved. Everyone's been very good-humoured about it, and that, yeah, it's pure love from the city that has been only loving to us and has enabled us to make the film in the first place.
Well, Martin, I should say you are massively loved already in New Zealand, and when everybody sees you as Bilbo, that love affair will deepen.
Thank you very much. We did feel really well looked after here, like within the film, and you know, in every bar and every restaurant. You know, people were good to us. You know, because I think people generally are good here. And it's so perfect that, you know, the first premiere should be here and should be in the city and the country that has just been behind the film. Totally. It's very unusual to make a film where you feel like the whole country has made it, you know. But every single person in New Zealand seems to like be on the credits somehow. It's nice.
Martin, I talked a little bit to your colleagues about the responsibility of taking on The Hobbit, and here you are in that pivotal role of Bilbo. How's that responsibility lying with you?
Well, it's obviously something I take seriously, but you take seriously every role you do. You know, you don't take it more seriously because it's a big role, but you're aware that it's a very beloved figure in literature. You're aware it's a very beloved character. So yeah, you don't want to bugger it up, but you know, but with Pete at the helm and with a fantastic cast and crew around you, you're very well helped. You know.
Did you grow to love Bilbo?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, but I'm very, very fond of this whole world now. As again, because I've said before, this wasn't really part of my world as a kid, so I had to come to it quite freshly as a grown-up, and I can totally see why it is so beloved by people, you know, because it is by me now. I love Bilbo. I love the whole, you know, it's a fantastic world. It's a fantastic story, and I'm very genuinely honoured to be doing it. Yeah.
The film is actually a whirlwind. There's so much pace to it, so much happens, yet I thought the beautiful thing is that you're the quiet centre in so many ways. Was that a deliberate thing from you?
Well, in a way, yes, but also, given that I'm not directing the film, I mean, the overseer, you know, the Oberleutnant does all that, you know, that's Pete's job. But I think, clearly he is, if you're the protagonist, then very often you are the, you know, the calm centre of the madness, you know. It's a bit like today. You know, there's lots of lovely, positive madness on today. I love it. Yeah.
There is indeed, and a lot of it is for you. It's been lovely talking, and hope you enjoy the evening.
Thanks a lot.
All right, almost at the end, but you may know these guys as Gloin and Nori, but to me they're Peter and Jed. Gentlemen, what a day. How have you been, Pete?
I'm totally stunned by this. It's just incredible. And people have been amazing, waiting for so long and so patiently, I'm told. And we just couldn't connect with everybody, but it's been a great day. Great day for New Zealand.
Certainly is.
Yeah, it's a great day for Wellington, and Wellington always throws it on, weather-wise and with the crowds. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everyone on either side there, but we will get you on the way back, I'm sure. It was a real lesson in sprint signing, really. Yeah. I've heard of speed dating, but speed signing, and I was the fastest. I got through 300,000 signatures.
That is amazing. That is a great effort. You're part of the frat party. That's what the Dwarves have been called. You're like a frat house at back end.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, but well, it's a sort of a punk frat house, bad behaviour, horrible thing, really, which we're very proud of. Yeah.
It's all about the hair, really. It's a frat house dedicated to unusual and outrageous hairdos, and Nori is the sexy hairdo guy.
You know, I beg to differ. I think you'll find that people with red hair, gingers, as we very affectionately call them, are going to be very, very popular after this film comes out. You just watch.
Have you been taking lots of selfies? Have you been getting your photo up there, getting your camera up there and just like Instagramming all day?
No, I haven't actually. I kind of didn't have time because of the speed signing. I wish I had, but I'm sure there's people out there that have taken some really good ones of us, and hopefully they'll send them to you, and you can send them to someone else, not Mark, and he can send them to us.
I'll retweet anything on Twitter. Remember, hashtag The Hobbit. Hey, guys, congratulations. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks, awesome. Jed, Pete, thanks. Gloin and Nori. That's who you recognise them as, maybe, because the makeup is fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much it for the red carpet. We are almost done. If I could just do a little bit of a public service announcement for all the invited guests, could you please make your way to be seated, because the official speeches are to begin. And to Wellington, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I hope you had a great time. Did you have a great time? It's great to hear you still have some voice. Carol, what a fantastic end to a great day.
Oh, it's been spectacular. Have you had a great time?
Absolutely, absolutely. I got to talk to everybody. It has been awesome. I'm almost running out of hyperbole and superlatives.
I don't think you ever could, and you're doing it so brilliantly. And the other person that I want to give big ups to is our pilot up in the sky, who has wonderfully been providing aerials that have allowed us to just give some sense of the scale of what this premiere is like.
Certainly. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage. It's still rolling online. Millions of people are watching online, and tens of thousands here in Wellington. From Carol and I, we'll see you soon.
rounding up the evening.
Yes, we certainly are. We're about to have our official speeches. You've waited so patiently all day, like we've said, all day on the red carpet. I hope you got to meet everybody that you wanted to meet. Tonight is all about The Hobbit, an unexpected journey, and I hope your journey has been fantastic, Carol, but right now we're going to have the official speeches, starting with
Celia Wade-Brown, the Mayor of Wellington, absolutely positively Wellington, and she was one of the greatest advocates for this fine city. And she'll be talking to us very shortly.
Absolutely, and of course we'll hear from Sir Peter Jackson as well, the director of this marvellous film. The first in a trilogy, of course, and we're looking forward to that. And then the Prime Minister, John Key, will come and speak as well, I understand.
He will indeed. It is really amazing, Andrew, to see that it's actually taken some of our cast and crew probably the best part of 2 hours to make it down to actually get to the embassy and to this formal part of this evening's proceedings.
I actually saw Andy Serkis run back down, do running high fives, and then get corralled by someone, almost tackled because he was making such an effort to make sure he connected with every fan. And this is what it's been all about today.
One of the most beautiful things I saw was actually a group of women with their Team Andy signs out, hoping that he might stop by as they pass by. And I'm sure he did, because I can see our cast and crew have given so much as they've worked their way down this tremendous marathon of a red carpet.
It certainly is. It's been great. I hope you got to see everybody. It has been a fantastic evening. It is going to be a fantastic film. And the reason that we're all here is because The Hobbit, an unexpected journey.
Far to the east, over ranges and rivers, lies a single solitary peak. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
I like visitors as much as the next Hobbit. But I do like to know them before they come visiting.
Mr. Baggins?
At your service. I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Oh, they're quite a merry gathering.
So, this is the Hobbit.
You asked me to find the 14th member of this company, and I have chosen Mr. Baggins.
Me? No.
Hobbits can pass unseen by most if they choose, which gives us a distinct advantage.
We will seize this chance to take back Erebor!
Here, Mr. Bilbo, where are you off to? I'm going on an adventure!
Mithrandir, why the halfling?
Why Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. And it gives me courage.
So this is your purpose, to enter the mountain?
What of it?
There are some who would not deem it wise.
A dark path has found a way back into the world.
Why don't we have a game of riddles?
And if it loses, what then? Well, if it loses, precious, then we eats it. If Baggins loses, we eats it whole.
Fair enough.
I will take each and every one of these dwarves over the mightiest army. Loyalty, honor, a willing heart. I can ask no more than that.
Home is now behind you. The world is ahead.
Well, that could have been worse.
You've got to be joking!
are minutes away from the whole thing getting underway. What has been your greatest overwhelming impression of today?
Look, I think it has been a combination of the enthusiasm, the people, and of course the weather has played its part.
It has indeed. It has indeed. And I mean, you know, do you think that the next two movies will actually top this one, this particular premiere?
Look,
It'll be hard, won't it?
I have no doubt. There's been a lot of people who were here the first 3 times when they had it, and now they're doing it again with The Hobbit, an unexpected journey, and I have no doubt that the next 2, if they have it here in Wellington, will be just as great. But we are just minutes away from the official speeches, we promise you. Hopefully we'll get that underway very shortly. Thank you for your patience.
And the wonderful thing, we have actually been streaming live to the world all afternoon, and it'll be fantastic to know how they're responding to this amazing premiere.
Yeah, and if you would like to find out how they gauge in that response, you can go on Twitter and use the hashtag #TheHobbit. That's the way to join the conversation.
Okay, well, I think we are going to our chopper shots, and we're going to take another look at how the evening is starting to unfold down here in Wellington. And it is time to begin our formal speeches of this evening. And it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage the mayor of this wonderful city, Celia Wade-Brown. And can we give her an enormous applause and cheer the most extraordinary advocate for Wellington.
Enga iwi, enga mana, enga reo, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. To everybody from around New Zealand, from overseas, and to all the thousands and thousands watching around the globe, a very warm welcome to Wellington for you all. Today is the day we've been waiting for. Today is the day we go on an unexpected journey with hobbits, elves, trolls, and a wizard or two. Today, the world's eyes are on Wellington, and what a beautiful day to see the capital city of New Zealand. Let's thank, first of all, our truly magical Wellingtonian, Sir Peter Jackson. Let's thank the team at the Warner Brothers and to the Prime Minister for making this happen with their partnership. And let's thank all of the people who worked on The Hobbit, who made the city look beautiful, our businesses, our ratepayers, our council staff. I saw them out cleaning the streets at 6 this morning. So today is a day to celebrate the local and global magic of film. Today is a day to celebrate Wellington at its very best, combining talent and technology. Let's celebrate Wellington as the middle of Middle Earth. And now it's my pleasure to introduce John Key, the Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Kia ora tātou and welcome. It's wonderful to see so many people out tonight celebrating here for the world premiere of the first of the Hobbit trilogy, An Unexpected Journey. I want to take a moment, if I can, just to welcome to New Zealand some people that have been very special and integral in terms of making these movies in New Zealand. The Chairman and CEO of Warner Brothers, Barry Meyer, the Chairman and Chief Executive of MGM, Gary Barber, and of New Line, the President and COO, Toby Emmerich. So tonight's a night for celebration and fun and entertainment. But first and foremost, let's pay tribute to the brilliance of Peter Jackson. The man's a genius. Can we acknowledge all of those that have worked on the movie, right through from the actors to the grips, the teams at Wingnut and Weta Workshops, I want to pay tribute to Warner Brothers and MGM and New Line for their faith to invest in the Hobbits and their confidence to do so here in New Zealand. And most of all, I want to say thank you to the New Zealand public who supported the government as we went about making changes that ensured that the movies were made here in New Zealand. The movie industry is very important to New Zealand. It promotes our country, the awareness of the beauty of our landscapes, and its confirmation of the capability of our people. But it does so much more than even that. Around about 3,000 people had some sort of job that was related to the making of the Hobbits, and it was a catalyst for so many other businesses, not just the movie sector. So 6,700 domestic flights were taken as a result of the making of the movie. 93,000 hotel beds were filled, 1,800 rental cars were used, and $380,000 was spent on coffee. So tonight's a very special night. I want to take this opportunity to say to Peter Jackson, we have two messages for you. One is to wish you the very best of luck, and the third is to say, don't stop at 3. So ladies and gentlemen, can I now make the introduction for Barry Meyer and Gary Barber, who are the men behind Warner Brothers and MGM.
Hello, I'm Barry Meyer, and thank you to His Excellency the Governor General, Prime Minister Key, to Mayor Wade Dodd, to distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Wellington. And hello to Hobbit fans across New Zealand and all around the world. On the outside chance that you didn't really come here to hear Gary and I give long, extensive speeches, we're going to try to be quite brief. On behalf of all of us at Warner Brothers Pictures, as well as our colleagues at MGM and New Line Cinema, I'd like to thank you for embarking on this extraordinary journey with us. We are incredibly proud to be working with your own genius in residence, Sir Peter Jackson, as well as his wonderful collaborators Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens, and all the talented cast and crew of the Hobbit trilogy, many of whom are right here from New Zealand. We are so delighted to launch this incredible first film of the trilogy with you. It's hard to imagine a more fitting backdrop for the world premiere of The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey than downtown Wellington, which, as you can see, has been all but transformed into Middle-earth. And we thank all of the people of Wellington who have helped us make this monumental event possible. We would not be here tonight were it not for the long-ago storytelling of J.R.R. Tolkien, and we would not be here tonight were it not for the gifted and dedicated filmmakers and actors and crews who have worked so hard to bring these films to life, both at the filmmaking facilities in Miramar and all across the North and South Islands of New Zealand. This evening is a tribute to all of our colleagues and patrons around the world working tirelessly to launch this spectacular new trilogy. I'd like to thank Jeff Robinov and Kevin Tsujihara and Sue Kroll and John Rogovin of Warner Brothers. I'd like to thank Gary Barber of MGM. I'd like to thank Toby Emmerich and Carolyn Blackwood of New Line. And I'd like to thank my good friend and former colleague, Alan Horn. All of them are responsible for going to enormous lengths to help us bring this project to fruition. Gary?
Thank you, Barry. His Excellency the Governor General, Prime Minister, Mayor,
2 years ago, I was preparing to take over MGM, the storied studio. 2 years ago, this day, we were preparing to greenlight the film The Hobbit with our good friends and partners at Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema. 2 years ago, I was dreaming of this incredible night, sharing it with all these wonderful Hobbit fans in Middle-earth. Wow, what an unexpected journey. I want to thank Peter, Fran and Philippa for their patience and their persistence and perseverance while we worked out the financial difficulties at MGM. Thank you. And thank you to Warner Brothers and New Line for helping us get to this point today. And with that, on behalf of everyone at MGM, I really want to congratulate Peter, Fran, Philippa, the entire fabulous cast and crew on this brilliant movie. We look forward to sharing much success on this terrific trilogy. Thank you and enjoy this great movie.
And now it is my tremendous honor and pleasure to introduce the man who first brought us into Middle-earth with The Lord of the Rings and now brings us back there again to take this incredible journey with The Hobbit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Peter Jackson.
Hey, thank you very much. This is absolutely unbelievable, everybody that's come to help us celebrate this film. It's really humbling. I might, as you know, we like to leave the finishing of our films till the last minute, so forgive me if I talk a while because I think the film is still travelling from Park Road Post at the moment. So I am only joking, sorry. I think it's up there ready to go. Hey, this is an incredible experience because so you spend so long shooting a movie where you're just focused on the film and you're trying to keep everybody out. You want to do it in secret and in private and hang on to all the surprises, and then suddenly one day the film's finished and the next morning you wake up and there's 100,000 people coming to celebrate. Sort of flips your head upside down. But I just got to thank obviously Celia for organising this incredible celebration, and Prime Minister Key for the wonderful support that you've given us all this way on this journey, difficult journey. You know, I just really hope you enjoy the movie after all that. And Barry and Gary, thank you so much, guys. I'm glad that we could finally figure out a way to get this film made. It's just fantastic. It's where we want to be. You know, The Lord of the Rings was such a great experience, and now we've been able to take The Hobbit and come to this point in time. It just seems like it's the way it should have been. It seems like fate's meant for us to be here. You know, Warner Brothers has been a wonderful studio to work with, and I do want to thank Jeff Robinoff, Kevin Tsuchihara, John Rigovan, Sue Kroll, Dan Fellman, Veronica Kwan Vandenberg, and all of the Warner Brothers teams around the world that have been helping us. It's been we felt supported in this very big and complicated movie. New Line Cinema, Toby Emmerich and Carolyn Blackwood, you guys have been absolutely incredible. You've looked after us every step of the way, held our hands, watched our back, and we love working with you. Thank you. You know, I can't do anything without a huge number of people. I mean, you see them in the credits, there's thousands and thousands of them. But I do want to invite up on stage three very special people who I work very closely with. Their producers, and Philippa Boyens, who co-writes the script. So can I just ask Philippa Boyens, Zane Wiener and Carolyn Cunningham to pop out the door.
These guys are fantastic. You know, I don't do this alone, and these three back here just look after me all the time. And the fourth person that should be here is Fran Walsh, who we can never persuade to get up in front of a crowd. But Fran is just the most fantastic person. She's great to work with. And we've got two fantastic children, Billy and Katie, who I've got to thank, and for all their patience and tolerance with their mum and dad doing what we do. So Fran, Billy and Katie, I love you. Thank you. I can't possibly thank everybody, but some special people, Jabez Olsen, Andrew Lesney, Dan Henner, Richard and Tania at Weta, and everyone at Weta Workshop. Everyone at Weta Digital who worked so hard up until just a few hours ago to get this film finished. And especially Eileen Moran, we want to send a big thank you to you, Eileen, and our love to you. And you were just fantastic helping us get through this movie. Thank you so much. Okay, should we bring up some of our actors? All right. So let's first of all invite a few old friends back. So Elrond is played by Hugo Weaving. Galadriel is Kate Blanchett. Andy Serkis, Gollum. Frodo Baggins, Elijah Wood. We have a couple of wonderful new characters in The Hobbit. The Great Goblin. Now, we needed somebody rather uncouth and grotesque to play this role, so we looked to Australia, and we found Barry Humphries. Radagast the Brown, Sylvester McCoy. Right, now, by the way, I do want to thank Matt Dravitsky and Sebastian Meek, who look after me, especially Seb. Thank you very much, and Matt. So we're now going to bring some dwarves on stage. So do you know, who knows the names of all the dwarves? Sleepy, Grumpy, Dopey, Bashful. Oh no, sorry, that's the wrong list. Hang on. No, there's Thorin, Dwalin, Balin, Gloin, Oin, Killy, Philly, Ori, Nori, Dori, Bofa, Biffa and Bomba. So let's bring them up. Now just remember those names, because you're going to want to know them when you see the movie. Ori is played by Adam Brown. Nori, Jed Brophy. Dory, Mark Hadlow. John Callan, Oin. Gloin is played by Peter Hambleton. William Kershaw, Biffa. Bomba is played by Stephen Hunter. Jimmy Nesbitt plays Bofa. Dwalin is played by Graham McTavish. Philly, Dino Gorman. Killy, Aidan Turner. And last and certainly not least, the leader of the group, Thorin Oakenshield, Richard Armitage. And the last person to ask to come up on stage is the Hobbit himself, Bilbo Baggins, Martin Freeman. So we've just got one last thing left. Before we do that, I just want to thank you very, very much for coming. Honestly, it means such a lot to all of us here. It's unbelievable, and we so look forward to you being able to see this film and so we can share it with you. But thank you very much for coming. The last thing I have to do is there's one member of our cast, a very distinguished member who couldn't be here tonight, but he did want to send a greeting to everybody. So let me welcome Sir Ian McKellen.
Hello, this is Ian McKellen in London. Look, is this 3D? Is this 48 frames per second? Oh dear, I never understood all that. Anyway, here I am, far, far away, feeling more like Gandalf than ever. As you'll see in the first of the Hobbit movies, Gandalf is forever leaving the dwarves and Bilbo to get on with the job while he's nips off somewhere else to do something else, and that's what I'm doing in London, something else. And of course I wish I were there in my spiritual home in Wellington. I hope you have a wonderful time together. Those of you who are about to see the film will see one of the most talented groups of actors and technicians who ever gather together to make a movie. So I know you're in for a good time. My love to everybody, Peter, Fran, Philippa, all the cast, and my favourite dwarf, you know who you are, and the crew. I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
And that brings to an end an absolutely extraordinary afternoon.
Certainly has, as the cast, the amazing cast of The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey make their way inside Wellington's Embassy Theatre. We can just say thank you so much to the people who lined Courtney Place today on the red carpet, and also thanks to the millions of people who watched online as well, Carol.
Thanks for joining us for this very special live worldwide premiere of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. See it at your cinema from mid-December.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Andrew Mulligan.
And I'm Carol Hirschfeld. Good night.
My dear Frodo,
You asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about my adventures. While I can honestly say I have told you the truth, I may not have told you all of it.
Bilbo Baggins. I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure.
I can't just go running off into the blue. I am a Baggins. Wait! Of Bag End.
Bilbo, allow me to introduce Fili, Kili, Oin, Loin, Dwalin, Balin, Biffa, Boffa, Bomba, Dori, Ori, and the leader of our company, Thorin Oakenshield.
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, the pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night, the fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blazed with light. I cannot guarantee his safety.
Understood.
Nor will I be responsible for his fate.
You'll have a tale or two to tell when you come back.
Can you promise that I will come back?
No. And if you do, you will not be the same.
My name is Bilbo Baggins.
Bagginses. What is a Bagginses?